Hi, I'm Diego Okan,
And I'm Rebecca Mencia.
and today we're going to be talking about Jack Kirby. His art style was modern pop art. He is responsible for many pop culture heroes that we know today.
Such as Captain America, The Incredible Hulk, and The Incredible Four.
Jack Kirby began his career in the comfort of his own home, learning from other artists' experience and their work to copy their technique to create his own unique style. Kirby then dropped out of high school at just the age of 16. He began working as a cartoon artist, his most notable work being that for Popeye. Kirby's career took a big leap in the year 1941 when he teamed up with comic book artist Joe Simon. They both worked for Timely, which is the comic book company which ended up becoming Marvel Comics. Together, the two curated the most well-known superhero to date, who is Captain America. They worked together from years 1941 and up until 1956, splitting apart because the two had creative differences and were working in an increasingly competitive field. We now reach what is the height of Kirby's successful career as he worked for both the companies that would eventually become America's comic book tyrants, DC Comics and Marvel Studios. In the late 1950s, Kirby began working in the office for Atlas Comics, which would eventually become Marvel, working on monster titles and westerns. Work boosted sales for Atlas, Marvel at the time, as the company had been struggling for a little bit. Kirby's career then reached its peak when he began working with the infamous Stan Lee, who needs no introduction. The two would go on to make one of the most successful and notable heroes in Marvel Comics, known as the Fantastic Four. Another one of Kirby's biggest accomplishments was being one of the few people that got to work on the character design for the Incredible Hulk, debuting in 1962. The work of Jack Kirby would continue to be involved in several comic books and heroes throughout the world of Marvel, most notably the X-Men, the Silver Surfer, and a revived Captain America. We now reach the 1970s, in which Kirby's career had started to get a decline. Kirby left Marvel due to creative differences with Stan Lee in 1970 and started to work for DC Comics again. The 5 years that Jack would be working with DC Comics, he made his own storyline and planned to make a trio of comics for his own saga. Sadly, the continuation of the stories were canceled after just one comic. This marked now what is now the end of his career, as he was now beginning his retirement. Kirby retired in the year 1978, and we now remember him today as the King of Comics.